I got scammed. Yay! That was sarcasm, by the way. And the fact that it rhymed was pure coincidence. Before we get into how I got scammed, though, let me address the obvious. Why do I no longer look like a homeless hobo? Even though I guess those things are the two same things. So I guess homeless hobo. There we go. That works. So the reason why I decided to shave and cut my hair, aside from the fact that I've been wanting to do it for like a month or 2 months at this point, and just have not had the courage to do it, was because today I had an appointment and they had to fit me for a mask for the radiotherapy. And once they fit the mask, you're not allowed to shave or cut your hair because they need everything to be the same, the mask to fit perfectly. That way, when you get the radiotherapy, you're not like moving around in the mask. So I'm like, all right, even though it's only going to be 5 days of radiotherapy, I'm still not quite sure exactly when it's going to be. They still have to call me to schedule that. It's just like, I'm like, do I really want to be stuck for another couple weeks not being able to shave or not being able to cut my hair? And I'm like, you know what? Let's just bite the bullet and do it today. So I did that this morning before my appointment. That is why I no longer look homeless. I look skinnier, probably younger. Maybe now I actually look like I have cancer. But at least I no longer look homeless, which is nice. All right, so let's get back to the theme of the video. So, as you all know, I have been on the market looking for a PlayStation 5, thanks to everyone's generosity. And I'm like, my logic was, let's buy a used one. That way it'll be cheaper, and I can use the leftover money to buy either a new couch or a lazy boy chair. And that way, I won't get to the end of the day and my back won't be like destroyed by this crappy couch that I have now. So that's why I decided, let's buy a used PlayStation. So contacted a bunch of people, about half a dozen people responded, asked the usual questions like, when did you buy it? Do you still have the receipt? Is it still like on store warranty? Basic stuff like that. And like, can you deliver and stuff like that? And it's like, whenever it got to the point where it's like, all right, we're actually about to, schedule the delivery, because obviously my condition, I can't go get it. So they have to deliver it to me. So, once we agree on a price and everything, and we get to the point where we're planning, they're like, okay, but I'm going to need a deposit. I'm like, okay, but what's going to stop you from just taking my money and then never delivering the PlayStation? For all I know, you're a scammer. There actually is no PlayStation. You're just trying to scam me out of money. What guarantee do I have that if I send you the money, you'll actually deliver it? So normally, whenever someone asks something like that, my answer is always categorically no, because it doesn't make any sense. I do not want to get screwed. I do not want to get scammed. So I usually always automatically say no in a situation like that. Unfortunately, every single person I contacted requested a deposit. And I'm like, I've never experienced that before. Even though it's not something I normally agree to, I mean, I kind of need to risk it, because it's either I risk it, give the person a deposit, get a chance of losing it, or I have to buy it new, in which case it's probably going to be like twice the price. So eventually decided to give one person a chance. They were asking for $100 deposit. I'm like, no, that's too much. I can do 50. So e-transferred the 50 over. And if this was a scam, it's like, okay, the person immediately stops responding as soon as they get the money. But the person kept responding, kept planning. It's like, okay, we'll come at this on this day at this time. So I'm like, okay, odds are they're not a scammer. That's good. So anyway, it turns out that it's a. By the way, a kind of little trick that I used to hopefully avoid getting scammed was because she mentioned at some point, the woman selling it, she mentioned, I'm a single mother of three. You can trust me. So I'm like, to which I responded, cool, okay. Well, I'm a guy with terminal cancer who needs a video game console to distract himself, keep from getting depressed, and get through this situation. I just want you to know that is my situation. If you promise me that you're not going to screw me, I will trust you. I will send you the deposit. She did, and that's why I decided to trust her and send the deposit in the first place. So anyway, turns out that it wasn't her that's going to deliver it, it's her son. So it's like, all right, my son's going to be there on this day at this time. And so, everything's good, everything's planned, everything is supposedly hunky-dory. So comes the day, comes the time, the son doesn't come, however. So I wait, sometimes people are late, it snowed a lot, might be difficult to get around. I'll give him 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, still no son. So I message the mother, the one selling the PlayStation, and I'm like, hey, your son isn't here. What's going on? No response. So I wait. Around 5:45, I'm like, all right, the odds of him showing up are very slim. So message her once again. And I was still very polite at this point, but I started to have serious doubts. So, I kind of approach it from, well, let's assume this is a real person, they didn't scam me, because if they were a scammer, it wouldn't make sense for them to keep talking to me and planning everything after they already scammed me. So let's treat this situation as if, okay, it's a real person. So I send a message along the lines of, hey, maybe you had an emergency, I get it, things come up, it's part of life. However, I find it very disrespectful that you would not let me know if that was the case. Is this really the example you want to set for your children? And that's how I left it. And at that point, I'm like, there's a high likelihood that I got scammed, but maybe not, because her behavior was not like normal scammers, because scammers, the second they get the money, they're gone. And that didn't happen. So I'm like, okay, we'll see. I'll wait till tomorrow. Hopefully she responds and has a valid reason, which of course she eventually did. And she did have a valid reason. And I say that in air quotes just because it's like, oh, sorry, there was an emergency with our grandma. We had to go and help her. It's like, okay, I get it, but you realize that sending a text takes like 10 seconds, right? All you could have done was just text me saying, hey, sorry, something came up. We had an emergency. Can we please postpone? I would have been fine with that. No issue whatsoever. The fact that you did not bother to do that, I find that very disrespectful. But, I didn't want to go into too much detail or confront her too much, because I'm like, there's still a chance this is a real person. They're actually selling a PlayStation, and I could still get it. At this point, either I got scammed and there's no way I'm going to see that money again, or I didn't get scammed and I already gave the deposit, so let's try to get the PlayStation. So she's like, sorry that emergency came up and everything. Don't worry, I promise we'll deliver today at 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. rolls around, and guess what? Nobody showed up. And the thing is, I warned her beforehand, you know my situation. The fact that I have cancer makes me very tired very early. I can't afford to stay up waiting for you. Please be on time. And she promised, don't worry, we'll be there at 6. And I even told her, like, if by 6:30 you're not there, I'm going to bed. And she agreed to it, everything was fine, but she didn't show up. But once again, it snowed a lot recently, parking is difficult, maybe she's just a little late. Could happen. So wait 15 minutes, nothing. Wait another 15 minutes, and then send her a message. Because at that point, I'm like, okay, I definitely got scammed, whether it was by some scammer in some random other country who created an account here with using a proxy server and just uses this technique to, con people, or it's a legit person that is just so rude and inconsiderate and insensitive that there's just no way I'm going to get the PlayStation. So either way, I lost the $50. But obviously, knowing me, I can't just let it be. So I sent her one final message that says something along the lines of, sorry, I feel like I'm going to cough, so let me just preempt that by drinking. So what I said was something along the lines of, okay. Well, actually, it's kind of what I explained. It's like, either you're a scammer or you're a real person and just really, really, really rude and inconsiderate. Either way, I want to have nothing to do with you. Obviously, I said I would ask for the deposit back, but we both know that's never going to happen because you're a scammer and you're a liar. So, I just hope that you die a very slow, painful death and rot in hell for all eternity. I know that last part was a little extreme, but I would say they deserve it. I mean, not to actually die and all that, but I mean, they deserve to hear that, So anyway, sent the final message, reported them to Facebook and everything and whatever. Point is, I got scammed out of $50, which sucks because technically it's part of the money that everyone donated. So it's like I lost $50 that was donated and I feel kind of bad about that. But at the same time, it's like I was just trying to get like a better deal to maximize the money that people donated. So it's like, yeah, I feel bad that I lost the money. I feel kind of stupid for getting scammed in a way. But I was trying to do the right thing. So anyway, yeah, lost some money. And because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to deal with people anymore. I don't think I'll ever use Facebook Marketplace because it seems like it's mostly filled with scammers at this point. So let me do what some people suggested in the first place and buy it too. So this morning I went on Amazon and ordered a brand new PlayStation 5. And the thing is, I've used Amazon for a very long time, and I know there is no way Amazon is going to scam me. Maybe they scam me in the sense of they're selling it for that price, but I mean, they won't say they're going to send it to me and then not send it to me, I'm guaranteed that when I buy something from Amazon, I will get it. So at least I won't get scammed again. But yeah, unfortunately, I did get scammed. So sorry for losing part of the money you donated. I feel kind of bad about that. But at the end of the day, it's part of life. Sometimes we make mistakes. Gotta live with it. And I guess it's just one of those situations. So sorry. But thank you once again for everyone's generosity who donated, who made it possible for me to get a PlayStation in the first place. So thank you. Sorry. All those things wrapped into one. So it's like sex or... I'm trying to combine the two words. It just doesn't work. Anyway. Thank you for watching. And of course, the video was like 3 seconds from being over. Ooh, that was a fun one. I lost track of what I was saying. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.